Good morning, scholars. Today we're going to continue our way forward in Herodotus, Book 1, looking at Chapter 2. This is where we have the tit-for-tat abductions of women continuing to be narrated, and some Cretans first abduct Europa, and then Jason and the Argonauts famously abduct Medea. Huto men ion es Aegypton apikestai, leguse persai, uk hos Hellenes, kai ton adikematon, proton tuto arxai. Meta de tauta, Hellenon tenas, uga ekuse tunoma apegesastai, base, tes poinices es tiron proskontas harpasai tu basileos ten dugatera Europain. Easan dan hutoi Cretans. Tauta mende isa pros isa sphe genestai. Meta de tauta Hellenas aetius tes deuteres adicies genestai. Cataplosantas ga macre nee es aian te ten colgida, kai epipasen potamon, in deuten dia prexamenus kai talaton heneken apicato, harpasai tu basileos, ten dugatera Medean. Bim santa de ton colgon basilea, esten helada, geruga, aitein te dicas, tes harpages, kai apaitein ten dugatera. Tuste hypokrenastai, hos ude egenoi, ius tes argees, edosans sphe dicas tes harpages, ude un autoi dosen egenoise. Okay, so huto men iun es Aegypton apikestai leguse persai, uk hos Hellenes, kai ton adikematon proton tuto arxai. So adikematos, neuter, is a wrong done, or a wrong, a crime, an offense. Proton here is your adverbial accusative. Check out Smythe 1611, and it here simply means first. And arxai is our first aorist infinitive of argo, to begin, to initiate. So, huto men iun es Aegypton apikestai leguse persai, uk hos Hellenes, kai ton adikematon proton tuto arxai. Meta de tauta Hellenon tenas, uga ekuse tunoma apegesastai, base, tes poinices est tiron proskontas, harpasai tu basileos ten dugatera Europain. So tunoma is just the coming together of to unoma. Check out Smythe 173. Apegeomai is to tell or to relate. So apegesastai is our aorist, first aorist infinitive. Proskontas is a second aorist participle from pros echo, which means to land or to put into shore. And it goes with the estiron, prosongontas, and harpasai is our first aorist infinitive of harpasdo, to grab, to snatch, to abduct. So, metadetauta, Helenon tenas, u ga ekuse tunoma apegesastai, base, des poinikes estiron, proskontas, harpasai, tu basileos, ten, dugatera, Europan. And here, in that sentence, we see this, an example of what's called the choreographic genitive. Tes poinikes estiron proskontas. So Smythe 1311 explains that the choreographic genitive is used to talk about a place being within another place. So the first example, tes atikes es oinoen. So they came to onoi in Attica. Or you can have the second example, tes Italias locroi, the Locrians in Italy. So here with tes poinikes estiron proskontas, they came, or they landed in Tyre, or in, actually they landed in Phoenicia at Tyre. So we see this map. We're talking about what we now call the Middle East, Phoenicia, and what was then to the Greeks referred to as Syria. But you have Tyre and Sidon here at the far eastern edge of the Mediterranean, right above Egypt. Okay. Eesan dan hutoi Cretans, tauta mende, isa pros isa sphe genestai, metade tauta, Helenas aitius tes deuteres aidikies genestai. So this first bit, the eesan an, this is a very interesting use of the potential optative. And if we look at Goodwin's Moods and Tenses, section 238, he explains and has this as one of his examples. He says, occasionally, the potential optative expresses what may hereafter prove to be, or prove to be true, or prove to be proved to have been true. So here, eesan dan hutoi Cretans, Herodotus gives us the benefit of his further investigations that these would prove to be Cretans. So they weren't actually Phoenicians at all. They were rather sailors from Crete. So Herodotus takes great pride in straightening out the stories that he hears when possible. So, eesan dan hutoi Cretans, tauta mende issa pros issa sphe genestai, meta de tauta Helenas aetius tes deuteres adikies genestai. So, isa pros isa, equal for equal, tit for tat. And deuteros here means the subsequent, the following one. And adikia, feminine, is wrongdoing or injustice. So, tauta mende issa pros issa sphe genestai, meta de tauta Helenas aetius tes deuteres adicies genestai. Kataplos santas ga macre ne es aian te ten kolkida kai epipasen potamon in teuten diaprexamenus kai ta la ton heneken apicato harpasai tu basileos ten dugatera medean. So kataplo, the plo doubling of the omega, is equivalent to the verb pleo in Attic. And so this is to sail from the high seas down to the shore, or simply to put in. So kataplo santas gar macre nei. Of course, macre nei is the means, by means, with a ship capable of long voyages. Eis aian teten kolkida kai epipasen potamon. Potamos, of course, is a river. En teuten, thereupon or next. Diaprasomai is to finish up or settle. And we have the first aorist prexamen. So diaprexamenus, having finished up. And apicato is equivalent to apicanto. Remember this substitution of the alpha tau omicron for alpha nu tau omicron. So consult the bottom of the page at Smythe 465F. So, kataplos santas gar macre ne eis aian te ten kolkida kai epipasen potamon en teuten diaprexamenus kai tala ton heneken apicato harpasai tu basileos ten dugatera medean. Now, this, of course, is the famous journey of the Argonauts led by Jason, and you see that they were from Iolcus, way over in Greece, but you see they went all the way through the Hellespont, across the Black Sea, all the way to Colchis, so very deep into the land of the barbarians. And this is where they snatched the golden fleece, of course, and Medea, just for good measure. And, I don't have to say anything about Medea because she's justly famous on account of the wonderful Euripidean play. Now, this is another map that shows more fully the extent of the epic journey of the Argonauts as it was conceived in the epic imagination of the Greeks. And so you see that their outward journey from Iolcus to Colchis was pretty straightforward. But then somehow in the red, you see they returned by a really crazy route back that led them quite afield. Just like, I guess we might say Odysseus was led quite afield. But, so this is a very nice map. And it is a shame, of course, that we have so little remains of this great epic cycle of Jason and the Argonauts. But nevertheless, we can get a sense of how the ancients conceived their great adventure through maps like this. Okay. So, to return to Herodotus, Pim santa de ton kol kon basilea es ten helada keruka aite ein te dikas tes harpages kai apaite ein ten dugatera. Tuste hupokrenastai, hos ude ekenoi, ius, tes argees, edosan svi, dikas, tes, harpages, ude un autoi, dosen, ekenoise. Okay, so here, aiteo, used with the accusative of a thing, means to demand satisfaction. So aitein dikas, and then the thing that you're demanding satisfaction for is put in the genitive. So tes harpages, to demand satisfaction for the abduction of Medea here. And apaitein is to demand back. The op as a prefix has the sense sometimes of demanding back what is properly belonging or belonged to another person. And then, of course, the subject switches with the tuste, hupokrenastai. Hupokrenastai is to answer, to reply. And then we have these forms of didome, edosan, and the infinitive, future infinitive, dosen. So it is good to review and be aware of these principal parts of didome. Didome, doso, edoka, dedoka, and edoten. So, Pim santa deton kolgon basilea esten helada keruka, aite ente dikas tes harpages, kai apaite ein den dugatera. Tuste hupokrenastai, hos ude ekenoi ius, tes argees edosan sphe dikas tes harpages, ude un autoi dosen ekenoise. So to understand this last bit, we have to just take a closer look at what on can mean. Its three main meanings, and the third one being at play here, which we haven't really seen yet. So the Attic form having omicron, upsilon, but the Ionic form having omega, and that's the form we'll see, of course, in Herodotus. This is an adverb, sentence adverb, we call it a particle otherwise, and it can mean one of three main things. So, first off, it can mean, or be translated, really at all events, and it is used like gun, to dismiss a perplexing subject. So, Herodotus says, electe san logoi apistoi men enioise Hellenes, electe san dun. There are reported some stories, unbelievable on the one hand, by certain Greeks, or the Greeks report by some. The Greeks are reported, electe san logoi apistoi men. Oh, okay. Hellenes modifies logoi. I was just confused. So some unbelievable Greek stories are said by some, but they are really said. Electe san dun, but they are really said. So this can be used to dismiss a perplexing subject. And also, secondly, it can be used to just continue the narrative. And we saw this in line 57 of Book 1 of the Iliad, after Achilles had called together the assembly, hoi depeun egeten homegere este et genonto, and when then they had come together and were all together, or when then they had gathered themselves and were all together, poidepe un egeten homegere este genonto. But then finally, and this is the use we have here, on can be used like igiter in Latin to mark an inference, then, or translated then or therefore. So this last bit is ude on autoi dosen ekenoise. So therefore, neither would they themselves give recompense, give reparation to them. Ude on autoi dosen ekenoise. So it's good to have take a close look at these three main uses of on, so as to be ready to deal with whichever one might encounter. Okay, so huto men iun es Aegypton apikestai leguse persai, ukos Hellenes, kai ton adikematon proton tuto arxai, meta de tauta Hellenon tenas, uga ecuse tunoma apegesastai, base, des poinicas estiron proscontas, harpasai tu basileos ten dugatera Europen, easan dan hutoi cretes. Tauta mende, isa pros isa spe genestai, meta de tauta Hellenas, aetius tes deuteres adicies genestai. Kata plosantas ga macre nei es aian ten colgida, kai epipasen potamon, en teuten dia prexamenus, kai tala ton heneken apicato, harpasai tu basileos ten dugatera Medean. Pim santa de ton colcon basilea est ten helada, keruka, aite en te dicas tes harpagas, kai apaite en ten dugatera. Tus de hypokrenastai, hos ude ekenoi ius tes argees, edosans vid dicas tes harpages. Ude un autoi dosen ekenoise. Okay, so here we have a wonderful vase painting of Jason and the Argonauts stealing the golden fleece, and of course grabbing Medea in addition. So a beautiful vase painting. Okay, folks, so we'll see you again very soon. Keep working hard on your Greek, and please do consider becoming a financial supporter of these efforts on Patreon and getting full access to all of the materials. The minimum contribution is simply $5 a month, but I thank especially my financial supporters who give well above that to make this possible, or to at least encourage it. Okay, so have a good day and keep working on your Greek. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye.